You're planning and mapping out the fourth and final year of medical school. You're now close to graduation and even before graduation, getting a position in the match. I'm Dr. Chad Brands with Mentoring Docs. I'm going to rely again on experience gained as a leader in graduate medical education, specifically as a program director, and share with you an inside view on the other side of the desk of what you should know towards the match and beyond as you finish out your experiences in undergraduate medical education. Let's plan to set up your own individualized fourth year for greater degrees of success in the match and then transitioning into a residency program. To be successful in the match, you need to send a lot of applications out that are well reviewed and that you assembled and put together with a well thought out personal statement showing your qualifications and what you're going to contribute to a residency program. Personal statements. It's such an important topic. We're going to have a separate video session dedicated to just that and getting that program to look at your portfolio and that personal statement right on top. I've seen as a program director great students that just had a lackluster personal statement. I've had the privilege to see thousands of personal statements, and I can tell you with my colleagues what works and what doesn't. So reach out for one-on-one consultation. Get some coaching so that you have an exceptional personal statement that's going to set your candidacy apart. Then when you get invited, communicate well and effectively. Get back with that program director and that coordinator to schedule those interviews. Show up, be punctual, be professional, be on time, and demonstrate how you're going to be engaged and what you're going to bring to that program. And you'll get to see where you fit and where you can contribute with your talents, skills, abilities, and really contribute to a specialty that you're excited to join in a place and in a setting where you're also excited to live. Plan a successful transition to your residency program. That means you're going to make sure that you schedule yourself for at least 2 full weeks of working business time immediately following the match to complete all of the many administrative requirements that you will need to enter residency on time. There will be major amounts of online and even paperwork for you to complete related to entering the program, including, but not limited to, obtaining a resident physician license in that new state, reviewing and returning a signed legal contract as an employment agreement, and completing all types of healthcare system educational modules that you'll be required to enter employment. Not a good time for you to be out of the country and unreachable with no cell mobile signal and poor internet access. Welcome to your future life in medicine. There are many requirements you're just going to need to meet, not only asking your mother to dig up your child immunization records, but for your new employer. A better time to travel would be the month of May. Go to Africa or Australia for global medicine, but only after you get all these pre-GME matriculation requirements completed and your program director and team have everything you need to be set to go and cleared for takeoff into the new residency program, having fulfilled all the pre-entry checklist requirements. If you do not meet those employment requirements, licensure, yes, they could revoke your contract. It happens. It's your career, doctor. Put it first. Perhaps most importantly in formulating your fourth-year strategic plan, prioritize the time now, upfront strategically, in the spring semester of your late fourth year for that personal, family, and professional move. It's that transitional time, and in this phase, it'll lead to success in this phase of going to graduate medical education. You need margin and time after match day, but you have to plan it up front. You got to file a course schedule with your medical school that says this will be the sequence in your fourth year. It'll get you to GME and to the boot camps. Just as in the military, now they're starting 2 to 4 weeks ahead of July 1, which represents the return of the academic year. Programs require you attend in person, not virtually. That's going to mean that you have all of your requirements have been met, including licensure. Any visa or immigration issues have been resolved. Why? You can't even think about asking to skip it. Don't even consider it. It's a requisite for employment and usually written into your employment agreement, your contract. Remember, you're going to need to make a trip or two to that new city to secure housing, which is often in short supply. Hopefully close enough to a hospital and clinical settings to ease your commute time. Make it easy for your next steps as a professional when you're on call, working shifts, late, mornings, early. And after match day, most students have hopefully front-loaded that course schedule so that you're not struggling against the graduation timeline to do courses in May, June as you finish that fourth year. Don't complete all those school course requirements in the end. Get them done early, including paying all those parking tickets or returning that pickleball equipment that you forgot about that's at your apartment. You won't graduate and start GME on time. Don't take chances. Be there to finish up. Finish strong ahead of time as a professional. Soon-to-be employed physician. Finishing up these campus responsibilities should be easy, but you'd be surprised. Some students just don't get around to it. Allow time after match day. You don't want to be doing anything required in May or June. You're going to graduate. You need time to move into that next phase of graduate medical education. You personally need to set aside dedicated time to your family and those pursuits in your fourth year that you really want to actually promote your own wellness across the next phases of your career prior to starting residency and a specialty. Why? Because now you have more time than you likely will then. This might be that time to see a seventh continent. Take a wonderful hike. View that favorite mountain trail. Go overseas. Go fishing, kayaking in the local lake system nearby home. You don't have to go far and wide. You can. Some students do. As a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. With family, friends, sail the oceans blue, or skies wide open. A chance to be totally free for a longer period of time before beginning the next steps of a significantly more complicated schedule and your roles and responsibilities as a resident physician, employed, no longer with student breaks and holidays. Plan it out. Dare you, hit the group text now. See who's interested in your ideas to travel in mid-April before you're making a transitional move into graduate medical education. Wherever you travel, travel medicine physicians would say don't do anything that you would not do at home. Right? Not a great time to pick up an illness or have a significant injury or youthful indiscretion, risk-taking behaviors that could set back your career significantly. Not a time to play around with your professional career trajectory. Don't take a risky trip down the Amazon and meet a creature like a hippopotamus that's going to end your career. Don't get a driving under the influence. Focus. Stay in the game. Stay with the pack and enter successfully the graduate medical education gateway. Pitfalls in the fourth year. Wow, I forgot to plan ahead. I didn't think that I'd actually get as many interviews for residency as I thought. Now I'm going to be expected to go in person. I forgot about my family. I've been so career-oriented and so professionally focused. What about those special times, those unique times, block times that hopefully the school is now going to allow me to catch up on? You're going to need to spend time to recharge, rejuvenate, relax, rest. Focus on well-being during your fourth year. Go do some great things. Global medicine. Or just take a trip. Wind behind your sails that you need as you start graduate medical education.
At the mercy of wind and tide, they made slow headway across the waters.
Final strategy for implementation. Dedicate and prioritize time, energy, and funds to invest in yourself and others in this transition to graduate medical education. What do I really mean anyway? Well, this would be a great time to thank your medical school faculty, those mentors and classmates for all they've contributed to your success to date. Take some of them to coffee or share a meal. Tell them how much they've meant to you. Write an email, a note of thanks to the peers and deans who've contributed the most to your journey. Share some of the insights that you've learned along the interview trail with one of your underclassmen who's coming up in that trail, following your footsteps because they so admire you, what you've done, and that career pathway that you've selected. You benefited from great advice, so now it might be your time to give back. Spend some time with your family and friends that you might see significantly less of in the years ahead in the arduous climb and journey through graduate medical education. Your time's going to be more limited. That time is available now, and you could prioritize it to grow and deepen your relationship with family and friends. Engage with your future program directors. They have track records and achievements, and their inspirational and transformational sides of administrative leadership are going to show in this transition from undergraduate to graduate medical education. They're even going to inspire you to learn and grow. They may send you articles or books or other resources they'd like you to engage with and learn from and grow during this time. It would be at your own risk and peril if you ignore their wise advice as it leads to June and boot camp and orientation to graduate medical education. What's she going to think as program director if you haven't read even the material that was sent to you in advance? Wow! Not a great first impression, right? And certainly not the way you want to start your next step leadership journey in a new program. Does it happen? Unfortunately, all the time. It's readily apparent as who's engaged during residency and the transition. We can tell within a few days to weeks who the future leaders in our programs are going to be because they're the candidates who go out and after it. They want to be chief residents. They want to be attending physicians, talented, driven doctors who arrive on campus as resident physicians and fellow physicians, leading in graduate medical education. Leaders step up. They want others to follow them. They bring solutions. They're punctual, they're professional, they're communicating well. They're living in these world of ideas that can be implemented for patients, for colleagues, for medical students who want to follow, for organizational success. They're inquisitive, curious, great doctors, educators, scholars, and leaders. Much of graduate medical education, colleagues, is going to be about leadership. This session's covered strategies on how you can individually be even more successful in your 4th year as a student gearing up for, running in high gear towards a matched residency position in the specialty of your dreams. You can realize those dreams, but it takes a strategy and a lot of work to make the transition, that big transition from med school to graduate medical education, and to do it well. So consider the advice. Implement it strategically. Many students have. The most successful students did. And they are successfully identified as leaders from the first moment of graduate medical education. Why? These strategies are time-tested. They've been proven to work for many in the match and beyond into residency and fellowships as you transition to your attending physician career pathways. In summary, I'll close with a view from the literature in medical education. The 4th year of med school has been noted for a number of years as the lost year. Tragically. But why? It's up to you to make it the best year in medical education. Some experts have said that even if it can't be reformed, we should just let it go away, shorten med school to 3 years, turn back the clock. Absolutely not. Often the 4th year has been or remains poorly structured. The dynamic exists because program directors, truthfully, have not been able to influence or provide that direction, often to leaders at medical schools, in terms of what they see missing as resident physicians arrive in residency programs. Key aspects of life are needed as licensed physicians, including, not limited to, communicating well, taking the next steps of professionalism in the high calling of medicine, fostering those micro skills, those experiences in simulation centers, such as reading and interpreting electrocardiograms, breaking bad news to patients, navigating ethical and moral dilemmas, equipping doctors to recognize burnout, the signs in themselves in students and residents and colleagues, focusing on well-being, keeping the wellness fire alive personally and professionally. There are major opportunities for med schools to do things differently, as most doctors, medical students, and even resident physicians clearly recognize. But you yourself cannot wait. You have to act. Your 4th year is here. Your career is on the line. Less so your medical school's outcomes or their reputation. Don't be that sailor that's lost at sea in the 4th year of med school, drifting aimlessly, hoping to find the shore. Chart your course as to where you're going, a port of call, and reaching the destination. That's the match. Then, after you've had that match position, be one of those sailors on a new ship, poised to be working with a great team, sailing, rigging together, determined and destined to go to even greater places, no matter how calm the waters or stormy the seas. It's your last year in med school, not a lost year. Make it your best. You've watched this video and you're going to do your best to succeed. Share this video with your friends. More of them will be able to implement a great academic, professional, and personal family strategy of growth using time-tested, proven strategies. It promises to be one of the greatest years of your life. Go after it. Think of that celebratory excitement there's going to be on match day when you get your token, open that letter, and show where you're going into graduate medical education. I'm signing off with this session with all best wishes and prayers for you as you enjoy the 4th year of med school. Move to the match, graduation, and beyond. You can do it. I'm certain you can, and I'm certain that you'll stay well, study well, interview well, and live well in that 4th year as you transition into the specialty of your dreams.